So last week's subject matter was particularly challenging. Those horses and riders, all those moving figures, the horses' legs, what position should they be in? So this week, given that you're just going to be working with fish and other sea creatures at Deep Sea World, and they don't have legs, most of them, I thought you might like an extra challenge. So I'm going to do a short demonstration of working in mixed media. So some torn paper, bit of collage, a glue stick, and some oil pastels. And I think they will allow you to work with the fabulous colours and patterns of these creatures when you make your sketches. So this process begins with tearing out of a piece of paper a rough shape, because since it's torn, it's going to be rough. A rough shape of your creature, and I'm going for another clownfish. I'm tearing a bit of brown sugar paper here, but I will have other papers for you. Sometimes it's quite nice when you do collage if you can use your, if there are materials, leaflets and things perhaps available that are relevant to your theme, you might even use them. So it can be any sort of paper. I've gone for some sugar paper, and it's a brown shade. So there's my fish, so not such a bad shape. I'm going to glue that down and then draw into it with oil pastel. So a bit of glue on the back. And I'm going to work into it, as I say, working with these fabulous patterns that are characteristic of tropical fish. Now the point of this mixed media approach, well, there's a number of points to it. One of them is to be able to work really with layers. I've got the layer of my paper that I've stuck things to, then I've got the torn out shape, and I've then got the oil pastel that goes on top. So that, if you like, there's 3 layers. And as I apply the pastel in particular, I'm not going to fill all of the layers underneath, so they're going to appear. So what will I do? First, maybe I'll get the drawing of my clownfish. I'll refine the drawing from the outside with the outline, partly to show you that I may choose a different outline from that which I have torn, and that will actually add something significant to the final result, because I'll be working very much along these edges. I'll be drawing the negative shape as well as the positive shape of the fish, and by doing that, again, the difference in the layers will really be emphasized, and that's what I want. So you don't know this, but the picture that I'm working with is the other way around, because I glued the other side of the fish because I really wanted them to go in different directions. So I have to keep hesitating and reversing what I'm seeing. But it's merely a demonstration of the fact that with fish it doesn't matter. You can just, do all sorts of things, and you will be forgiven. They're not like horses. So I'm putting down some colour. What I also like with oil pastels, so that's what you'll be working with. I like the fact that oil pastels mix very well, and colours that I lay down can be worked into, probably even scraped off. And for example, my blue, I want to mix it a bit with the orange so that it's a bit darker, a bit more like clownfish blue. Just a bit of filling in. Now, of course, I've got a photograph and you will have swimming fish. So you'll have an even better excuse if things don't qualify for the clownfish accuracy test. So there we go. Getting some colours down, mixing them a bit. Of course, the white stripes are the real feature. And I've worked almost entirely with my sea creature. But when I apply colour to the background, the negative shape, if indeed I want to, I quite like it as it is, but I felt like I was going to show you some turquoise. I mean, he looks quite nice like that, actually. Got colour on these fins down here as well. I know what I'm going to do. I've got another clownfish, one over here, and I think I'm going to glue that down and work with it with a different background colour, because if I quite feel like putting white onto this larger clownfish. I won't be able to bring the two of them together, but I wanted to show you as I adjust the edges, because of the way I had torn the paper, I'm going to get different effects, and I think I'd like to lighten some of that orange a bit like this with some yellow. So there's a little bit of thinking about colour as well, hopefully some instinctive thinking about colour, but it is very nice the way oil pastels will mix. Let me just stick the other one down and give it a different background. So I've stuck the other chap down, and I'll just do a little bit more working with the background. That is to say the negative shape. I'm trying this sort of brighter pale green. So a little bit aquatic. And you can see that obviously I can refine the tearing. As I said, I thought there's a value in tearing these shapes. The value being that you'll I suppose be looser and therefore be looking a little bit more generally at the shape rather than getting caught up in detailed parts. So by tearing the shape, it gives you more of an overview, which you really need as an artist. You need to see the kind of general before you get into the particular. And this business of refining the edges with the negative shape is actually something that adds depth to the final effect. And so it's something you want. You want to have reasons to adjust those outlines, or to adjust the overall edge of the torn collage. So there they are, the two of them, working with torn paper and oil pastel. I'll have other materials for you as well when we're at the aquarium, the usual pastels and so on. I might bring some ink, but I'm slightly worried about, ink and glue sticks and torn paper all falling into the water and creating something of a stir. But we'll see. So this is for our next experience with moving creatures, and we'll be able to work with the fabulous colours and patterns, and maybe, be trying a different set of materials, which always brings new discoveries to the way we work. Okay.